I don't know if I have any film mode, I can't see what's going on in the chat. Let's see. Just posting on YouTube. I'm posting on Facebook. I'm streaming on YouTube actually, and then I'll get things started. Let's see if that works. Alright, so today I'm going to do a little demo, I guess, of the sketchbook that I picked up. I just recently went out of town and picked up a few things at Michael's. I didn't bring my my pencils that I purchased are still in our vehicle. I forgot to bring them in. But I did pick up a sketchbook from Chapters, and I'll explain what it is and what kind of paper and everything it is. I know this is a little bit hard to read, so I'll go ahead and do all that in a bit. Just checking to see if you're listening to me or not. I have company at home tonight. My boyfriend is sitting behind me on the couch watching some YouTube videos. He can't hear a word that I'm saying. I kind of make him not listen to me when I'm live streaming because he makes fun of the way that I talk. So, I bought this, like I said, I bought this sketchbook at Chapters. I was going to pick up a bullet journal at Michael's, but I changed my mind. I didn't think I was going to be using the bullet journal as much. So this is just, it's a hardcover book. It's pretty thick, and I can't zoom the camera out any farther than this. So I'm using a webcam, and I don't have any zoom functions, so this is as big as a screen as I can get. But anyhow, the sketchbook is 192 pages. It's 5.5 by 8.5 inches. It has heavyweight, premium quality paper, versatile, smooth texture, which the paper is very, very smooth. It's suitable for dry media, including charcoals, pastels, pencils, pens, and graphite. Certified acid-free, and the binding lies flat for ease of use. The book is a Mary Ann collection and distributed by North Val. I'm not sure how to go ahead and pronounce that. I'm going to go ahead and pull this off. And I think what I'm actually going to do, I hope this glue kind of goes away after a while. I'm going to go and stick this on the inside of the cover here. So if you're watching this at a future date, I probably won't be using this sketchbook for a while yet because I still have one started that I'm working in, but I just wanted to do this today to kind of, I wanted to see what the paper was like, and like I usually do, I flip to the back of the book and I kind of do some swatches and everything, so that's what I'm going to do. But regardless of the book laying flat, I noticed earlier when I was going through it that some of the pages actually, they don't lay flat at all, but most of them do, so that's not really a bad quality, I guess. But yeah, it's some of the binding you kind of have to flatten it out a little bit. Like I said, for the most part it does lay flat, so it kind of puts me in mind of how the hardcover render sketchbooks lay flat. And the paper is fairly thick. I have this book here that I'm working in right now, and I already kind of did like a little review of this on the channel not too long ago. And this one, the paper in here kind of is the same. It's it's almost the same. I guess it's more like a cardstock feel to it, so I think it would take inks pretty well. I don't know about alcohol ink, but like pen ink and like maybe some India ink and stuff like that. The book did warp when I had it in the vehicle, so that's my fault. The paper went all weird, so I'm not going to do like a full-on art project in here because I am going to work on one of my stickers after, but I just thought that I would go to the back of the book like I had mentioned, try out a bunch of different mediums that I typically use, and it kind of gives me an idea of what I can use in the book and what I can't. So I have some things here. You can't really see a whole lot of anything because I can't, like I said, I can't zoom in and zoom out, but these are the things that I typically use, the Posca pens, and I have a Pitt Artist pen here, a aqua marker, Copics of course, and I'm pretty sure that the Prismacolors are going to work, but I kind of wanted to get some pencils on there just to make sure there wasn't a grain in the paper whatsoever, because I don't like having a grain in the paper, so I thought that I would go ahead and try that out. I have a brush pen, and of course I brought out some watercolors to try it out. I'm expecting this to fail, but you know, we're going to give it a go anyway to see what happens. So these are just my koi watercolors, but I'm not going to try those yet. I'm just going to get them ready here real quick. So the first thing that I'm going to do, I'm just going to grab, let's see, grab this marker right here so I can write down. This is just a Staedtler fine liner. So I just want to write down next to it what exactly it is I'm using. So it's just not the very last page in the book. I guess maybe I should go ahead and do it on this one because I can't draw anything. I hate it when they make the back paper of the book, even the front, and you can't do anything with it. So I'm just going to try out the Posca pen, and that was just a mad mess. It looks like my Posca pen leaked all over the place, so now I have to clean that up first. If you're interested, I paid $9.99 for this book at Chapters. That's Canadian because I'm in Canada. So I did go looking for when I was out of town an Elio sketchbook, but I can't get those here in Canada. And every time I go to get one on Amazon, they're viciously expensive. So I don't know what happened to my marker here, but kind of leaked all over the place. I feel very awkward streaming right now because I don't usually have anyone home while I'm streaming, and like I said, tonight I have company, so kind of a little bit awkward. So anyhow, let's try this again. We have, geez, I'm still making a mess. Okay, so I'm fairly certain the Posca pen is not going to go through the paper. But I find some papers, they can't handle wet media very good, and let's see here. Yeah, it's all on the inside of the marker too. That's a bit of a mess. I find that some of the water-based things, like paint and water, they kind of pill the paper, and it doesn't look very good. So I'm just going to go ahead and do just all the swatches down here. I've got this piece of white paper in the background because my webcam apparently can't pick up color very well unless there's some white, and if I had to close the book it would be hard to see. But this is the Pitt Artist pen by Faber-Castell. It's very streaky on the page, and it actually doesn't look nice, but we'll see what it looks like. See what it looks like when it's dry. So it's the Pitt pen. I'm not expecting the aqua marker to work very well on here at all. I didn't go ahead and actually that's not that bad if you're just doing a single coat. When I do go over it again the second, third time, it starts to pill the paper. But if you know what you're doing and you can get this down like in one shot, then it would be pretty good. So this is just the aqua marker. I'm not going to flip it over until right at the end, and then we'll see what went through and what didn't with the wet mediums here. I know the Copic's going to go through. The Copic pretty much goes through everything except for marker paper and, you know, like hammermill paper, which it still kind of does go through a little bit, but not as much as just plain paper. So it's just the Copic. And clearly I'm using just a regular ink pen. This is the, I forget what it's called, it's just the Pentel brush pen. And I'm really horrible at using brush pens like this, so it's just sitting around and I barely even use it. This is just like soaking into the paper like crazy, and it's gone, it's faded to a gray. It's not even black anymore. So brush pen, this is the Pentel brush pen. That's the last pretty much of the pen style things that I use. So I'm just going to go and grab my water brush and I'm making a mess. I'm going to go and try, this is what's happening. I don't know if, wow, let's try this again. I don't know if you guys are seeing this, but a lot of the koi watercolor pans are cracking and breaking up. I'm not 100% sure as to why it does that. If anyone knows, you can let me know. But I'm just going to pick up this blue here, and I really don't think, I've got cat fur everywhere as usual. For those of you who don't know, I have 2 cats, and I find fur in places that you really shouldn't find fur. Just need to grab a bit of tissue here and clean off my brush. It actually went down not too bad. It's not really buckling the paper. Like I said, the paper is a little bit thicker, so it may not pill the paper like a regular, just a thinner paper would do. So this is, I'm just going to write down, this is just watercolor. So if you're using the watercolor on this, if you do like a light wash and you're not going heavy with the water, I think you'd be able to use this, but it probably would crinkle the pages quite a bit. So if you're not really into the crinkling of the paper like that, then it's probably best to stay away from it. I'm just going to try out, before I flip the page, I've just got some color pencils here, and just by doing this I can tell that there is a little bit of a tooth. Not much, but there's a bit of a tooth to the paper. And then, of course, I've got just the graphite pencil. Just going to see how so that's pretty much how that goes. There is a little bit of a tooth to the paper, but like I said, it's not really that bad. So let's flip it over and see what went through and what didn't. So let's see, the aqua marker kind of went through a little bit, and so did the Faber-Castell Pitt pen. The Posca clearly didn't go through because that's just an acrylic based marker. And the watercolor buckled the paper, made it a little bit flimsy, but like I said, once it's dry it should be okay if you're just doing a light wash. And the Copic, of course, went through completely, as I knew it was going to do. But anyway, yeah, it's really not that bad. I'm kind of, this book right here, I'm doing a lot of my enamel, well, not enamel pins, I wish I was making enamel pins, but my lapel pins that I'm making out of the shrink film, that's available on my Etsy store. You can find a link, or where you can find me over on the side here, just by the little image, I don't know what it's called, over here you can see where I'm linked for social media and my shops and everything. But yeah, I haven't drawn in this book yet, so I can't really talk about that, but these are the types of medium you could potentially use in here. I mean, I'm sure you can use the Copic. I don't think that it bleeds much. It does kind of feather just slightly. So if you were going to use the Copics on here or some other kind of alcohol marker, just don't color so close to your, if you're inking your work, just don't color so close to that line, and then it shouldn't feather over. But other than that, it's not bad paper. So I'm going to wait for this to dry a little bit and maybe go back to it just a little bit later and see if it works or looks a little bit dull, because sometimes when paper dries the color doesn't look as good. But that's pretty much all I'm going to do with this book. I tore off a sticker on the front, so I'm probably going to eventually cover it all up with stickers and whatnot. I don't know if I'll keep this in here. It's going to come off anyway, so, you know. Let's Let's try to stick it back here. Maybe it'll stick back here better. Stick it on the back cover. I'm just going to go and grab my iPad. It's in a different room charging, and I'm going to work on one of my digital stickers that I'm working on, and we'll just continue with the live stream from there. This is how much. It was $9.99. It doesn't really, I tried looking it up on Amazon, but I couldn't find it, and I didn't look on Chapters for it, but like I said, it's a Mary Ann collection. Mary Ann collection. You can find it at Chapters, Indigo. I don't know what you guys call it, wherever you are. I'll be right back. Just going to go and grab my iPad real quick. So there's not particularly a lot of people here at the moment. There's just one other person watching, so hello to whoever's watching. So if you're watching this at a later date, I may say some things that are just not relevant anymore, so we'll just go from there. I have a glare in my book. I'm going to see if I can turn this light off and turn on the screen. Maybe that'll work just a little bit better. Yeah, oh, it's upside down, that's why. There we go. I'm actually just going to prop that up in the back there. So I've been making my own lapel pins, and if you've watched any of my videos before, these are the ones that I already have made. So it's the Red Queen from Alice in Wonderland and the Mad Hatter, and what I'm doing is I'm actually turning them into stickers and a few other things as well. So I thought that since it didn't take very long to test out the supplies in the sketchbook, that I'd go ahead and work in here just a little bit. My tablet barely even charged. I only have it at 38%, and I think my pencil's almost dead too. Yeah, I prepared well for this, didn't I? So I'm just gonna see here. It doesn't really take that long for the iPad pencil to charge, so while that's doing that, I can get a couple more seconds of it. I'm just going to go into Procreate. And let's see. I think I'll do. I haven't even done the Alice lapel pin yet, so maybe we'll work on the Red Queen just a little bit. And I really like the way that the lapel pin came out. I don't like the way this looks completely, so I had to do a little bit of revamping, I guess, when I was working on the pen using the Prismacolor pencils, and I've kind of changed a few things up, so I don't know how well this is going to go with digital work. And I'm not really a digital artist, so I'm just learning as well, so things may go a bit wrong, so we'll see what happens. So I've been live streaming now for about 18 minutes or so. I did announce it on Facebook. I didn't announce it anywhere else throughout the day because I didn't know if I was going to be live streaming or not. So I hope there's some sound. I haven't even checked. So okay, yeah, there is sound. I hope there's some sound. I haven't even checked. I hope there's some sound. Okay, so I'm sounding. Okay, so I'm sounding a little bit muffled, so I'm not really sure how I'm fixing that with the oh, what is this? Video capture device. I'm just messing around with OBS here just a little bit. I don't usually. What is this? Video capture device. I'm just messing around with OBS here just a little bit. I don't usually.
Is this? We have talked about this. It's messing around with ABS
Sounds
groups,
really off.
all of that. I don't usually. Is this? We have talked about this.
It's very muffled. I'm not really sure how to go about fixing it. I am live streaming now. I've already said that I'm not home alone, so so if you say anything, people can hear me. I don't know if maybe you can pop over to my channel with your headphones on and see how bad it sounds. Yeah, okay. Anyway, muffled sound or not, I'm just going to continue on with the with working on this, I guess. My pencil's charged up to 20%. That should be good for just a little while. I'm not going to be streaming for too much longer anyway. Maybe another 20-30 minutes or so. I don't know why the sound is sounding as bad as what it is, so if anyone's watching this as a playback, I apologize for the horrible sound. I'll get all that sorted for next time. I'm just happy that my stream hasn't dropped, because when I used to stream when I was living in Manitoba, I could barely stream because it would drop so much. So I'm just glad for that. So what I'm just going to do here, I'm just going to color in this entire picture before I start doing any extra coloring. I'm just going to pick a color here. And what do I have in here? I find it very hard to talk and do stuff at the same time, so this is going to be a little bit challenging. What I was saying earlier was that I did announce, oops, I'm on the wrong layer here. I only announced on Facebook that I was streaming. I didn't really announce anywhere else, so I kind of wasn't expecting too many to show up. I didn't have a video up today because I was out of town, and I just basically, I got back late last night, didn't have a chance to do anything for a video, so I thought that I would do a test live stream, I guess, because I've live streamed once, but I use my cell phone, and that tends to go a little bit better than using the internet connection. So I thought that I would, like I said, give it a go, see what happens. And now the picture is not completely horrible, but the sound doesn't sound the greatest, so I'll get that fixed for the next time. I don't know, maybe I'm not talking loud enough, and or the computer is too far away from me. I'm not sure what's going on. I'm not 100% sure. I'm just doing this a long way because I'm not going to trace around this entire thing just to create a clipping mask. And I'm just waiting on Jeremy there to go and check out the channel to see how bad the audio actually is, so I don't get any feedback, because when I tried to do it myself it started squealing. And if anyone's listening to this at a later date with headphones, or even now, then that's not going to sound great. It's not going to sound great at all. I know I'm taking a long way around with doing this. I don't need... yeah, see, I hate when it does that. I should actually turn this to my reference layer. Maybe that'll help. Let's see. There we go. We can do it this way. Rather than coloring in everything, we'll just do it like that. Although I do like the coloring part of it, but for the fact that I am working on a live stream here, we'll just do it the faster way. Whoops. I didn't want to change the line work color. Let's try that again. I don't have any music on in the background because YouTube doesn't usually let you do that. I don't know if I can find a channel on here that will allow me to stream music that's already being streamed on YouTube that's copyright free. I don't know, I'll have to look into that as well if I want to continue doing live streams, because I'm not able to talk 100% of the time. And there's actually nobody talking back to me in the chat, so I don't know how to make conversation by myself. Anyway, I got this all put in here just so that there's a basic color. And well, what did I do? Oh no. I have to undo all that again because it went on the wrong layer. What a pain in the rear that is. Good job, it's easy fix, right? I usually lock this so I can't do anything to it, but this is the layer here. Layer 2 is the layer that I want to fill things in on. So I'm just going to do all that again. Good job, it doesn't take very long. Let's see here. I'm still waiting to get some feedback on the audio issue. I did have a mic here that belongs to an old Guitar Hero thing, so maybe if the audio is that bad I can pull that out and just lay it on my desk, because I don't have like a big microphone for recording YouTube videos. Okay, now let's see. Let's all rate this time. And I'm going to do the skin on the face first, I think. And she's pretty pale, so we're just going to go with... I'm going to start out with white and then put the shadows and everything in after. Okay, so that's the face. I'm going to create another layer for the hair. And her hair is pretty red, so... Whoops. Pick out a lighter red color to start with. Not that red. I find sometimes when a certain angle that you rest the eye pen or pencil on, it kind of does something that you don't really want it to. Wow, that is pretty red. I'm going to create another layer, and this layer I'm going to do the color of the shirt white. And I'm also going to change the color of this background because it's a little bit hard on the eyes. We're going to do that. And I guess I have to color her neck here too, so I'm just going to go back to the skin layer and bring that down there. Just going to make another layer for the eyes. Now when I looked up the Red Queen, a lot of the other images that I found didn't really show what eye color she had. How long have you been listening to me?
I'm trying to find the stream.
Oh. Is no one showing up because it's listed to unlisted? That's why nobody's watching me.
Yeah, it's not showing up.
Yeah, it's listed to unlisted, so I've been streaming for the past half hour and nobody has seen it. That's why there's nobody here. So I have been talking to myself. And he's laughing at me. I have been talking to myself for a half hour. I did the demo and everything else, and I've been talking to myself this entire time because I didn't realize the privacy was set to unlisted until he just told me that he couldn't find my channel or the stream. So you can hear me now. Like that's how, oh my, I feel so stupid now, see? Yeah, I know, there's going to be a bit of a delay, like 10-15 seconds or so. There's always a delay, but how bad is the audio? Is it really muffled, staticky, or?
There's a little bit of noise, like a little bit of white noise or something. supposed to load
Maybe
this
it's coming from the sound of the computer because the computer is making a sound.
probably the fan.
So maybe the next time I'll fish out that Guitar Hero mic, plug it in. I think it's in the box.
Yeah,
Oh.
maybe that.
Yeah, it's saying that there's 2 people watching now because, like I said, I've been streaming the last half hour and it was unlisted, so nobody could even hear what I was saying anyway. So I'm here waiting for people to show up and nobody even knows I'm streaming. How dumb am I? Huh.
The 3 watching now.
You can turn it off again if you want. You don't have to keep listening to me. I mean, it's completely fine. I just even see if you didn't go and look for it, I would have been sitting here this entire time. Oh, I feel so stupid. Well, if anyone's watching this in the future, I've just streamed for a half hour and didn't realize my video was set to unlisted instead of public. So nobody has shown up in the past 30 minutes because of my own stupidity. I'm going to crawl underneath a rock now. I'm going to go crawl underneath a rock now. Oh my. Anyway, I'm going to continue doing what I was doing. I was only going to stream until 9:30 anyway. So I guess people can catch the last half hour of the stream. Anyway, I'm working on eyes. That's what I'm working on right now. Well, I already lost the viewer, so anyway, let's continue. I believe I was saying that every time I went and looked up the Red Queen, there was never really a concise picture with what the eye color would be, so I'm just going to put it brown. So I'm just going to find a nice brown color to use to start it out with anyway. I usually do each piece on a different layer in case there's some things that I want to change. So it's just a lot easier to make those changes. And then once I'm done, I'll go ahead and just clip everything together. And just going to put the whites of the shine in the eyes right here. I'm hoping that the digital piece is going to come out similar to what the lapel pin is, but we'll see how that works. I'm just going to go and update on Facebook. There we go. And I always find it hard doing metallic things. I don't even know how many layers I have left or how many layers I can use. I only have 3 more layers that I can use, so I guess I should be careful here. I don't know how to do, I guess, metallic colors in digital art yet. I'm just going to start off with this gold here. Alright, so when I get all that done, I usually go in and swipe across like this, and it turns everything into almost like a clipping mask, I guess, so I can't go outside the lines. And I'm just going to go ahead and lock this layer so I can't do any changes to it. And I've got my inking layer locked here as well, so I can't make any changes to that either. So I'm just going to go in now and start with the face, I guess. I'm just going to do one more layer for the lips, and I'm just going to draw those in slightly with a little bit of red. I'm using an airbrush to do this as well. I like using the airbrush. Just looking at the lapel pin that I've done just to make sure I can kind of get it all the same. And by doing things on separate layers as well, if you want to pick things up and move it around, it's a lot easier to do that. Okay, so right now I'm going to say that next Friday night at 8:30, I'm in Newfoundland, so Newfoundland has their own time zone, so Newfoundland time, I guess, at 8:30, I will say I'll do another live stream, and we'll see if anyone shows up. I need to make this eraser, that's why the color wasn't coming out as much, because the way I had it locked. So it really frustrates me when I'm trying to do something and I'm trying to make things even on both sides, and one way that I found out that's easier for me to do it is actually use the things, the tools that comes with Procreate, and just duplicate things and flip them, whoop, and then I'm able to just quickly merge the two like that. It's still like a little bit off, but it's a lot easier for me to fix. And then I can just, oh, wrong thing. I need the, just gonna put those two together. Now one still looks kind of higher than the other, which really doesn't make sense, so that really didn't work out a whole lot in my favor. I'm very slow with doing digital art too. I kind of do the details a lot more than what I really need to do them. Okay, maximum 12 layers, so this is my last layer here. So I'm going to put the eyebrows in here, which are just supposed to be black. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. If you're not careful with this, it's going to go in and change your line color. I'm probably not going to get this done on this stream, so I'll probably end up doing most of it at a different time. I'm actually going to put this heart on this layer as well, because it's in two different areas, so it'll be easy for me to color them both, lock the eyebrows, and go back to the skin layer. After I get all that done, like the basic colors, I like to go in and do all the shading. But she has a really white face in most of the images that you see online anyway. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do all the shadows and everything from the outside, and then when I get that done, I'll go in and put the blue eye makeup in, so then I can just blend the two together. Now, someone else could do this completely different than I'm doing it, but this is kind of how I've taught myself how to do it. Whether it's the right way or the wrong way, this is kind of what I'm doing. Kind of go around like this, and after you can go in with the blending tool and kind of blend it out so it doesn't look like such a harsh line. I hope this is being picked up okay. You can see how it's not coloring over the eye because of the way I have it locked. Whoops. It won't look as dark once I go in and I blend it all out. But yeah, maybe next time when I actually advertise that I'm going to be doing, whoops, a live stream, maybe people will come out. I don't know why that's, I kind of keep the blending tool with the airbrushing. It just, I feel like it looks better. I don't know, could be just me. Anyway, I usually go in afterwards and just kind of even out the lines so it doesn't look like it's one harsh line to the next. So the reason why I didn't get a video out earlier today was because I was out of town. My grandfather needed to go for surgery, and the family wanted to be there for that because it was somewhat of a serious surgery. I really can't go into detail because it's not really my information to provide, but it was a scary ordeal, or it could have been a scary ordeal, and the family wanted to be there, so we all decided to head out of town and go to the hospital to be there for that. And it kind of took up 2 days, so I really wasn't able to take the time to make a video, so that's why I decided to do this tonight. I know a lot of people that come to my channel aren't really into the digital work, so I'm not really sure how many views this video is going to get, but at least I'm getting something out there. That's the way I'm looking at it. I'm actually getting something done that I really wanted to do anyway, so it's all a bonus, I suppose. I don't like the way that that's looking underneath her nose like that, so I'm just going to go in and color over it and pick the color back up again and go in and put it in a different spot, maybe right on the bottom part of the nose rather than underneath it, like right here. I think that'll work just a little bit better. Just like that. I don't tend to use the multiply thing, the layer, very much either. This is a very hard color to work with on here because it all looks the same to me. So I'm just gonna, you can control how much it blends and everything as well by using the sliders on the side here. Like I said, I'm not really the one to give tips about how to use Procreate because I'm fairly new to it myself. Anyway, like I was saying, next Friday, which I think, let's check the date. What's the date for next Friday? The date for next Friday will be the 18th. So let's just say the 18th at 8:30 Newfoundland time. I'll stream again if anyone wants to stop by. I'll have some traditional things ready to go. So most likely it will be more enjoyed by quite a few people. So we'll see how that goes. I'm not putting any of the tinting in her cheeks or anything because she's not wearing makeup regardless. And I think on the drawing that I did, I made the eyes a little bit rounder here. So I'm just going to go and unlock the reference layer. Oh, what am I doing here? And I'm just going to go in with some black and try to round out the eyes just a little bit. So they don't look so square. Now that I have, I just gotta blend out this down here. I guess it kind of, whoops, what was that? See, sometimes the pencil does things that I don't even ask for it to do, and it kind of, what am I doing? Okay, I have to lock this again and go to the right layer. That would help. So I'm going to go back to the skin layer. Okay, now we can blend. See, sometimes I get lost as to where I am, and then I kind of mess things up a little bit. And now that I made that mistake on the first layer here, I can't blend it out properly. So I have to That's close. I have to unlock it and go in and erase this. Oh my goodness. This layer and erase this. There we go, problem fixed. I'm going to go back down to the skin layer here and go ahead and finish blending that out. I feel like the face is very it looks very muddied up and it's hard to see because it's white, but I'll go back in and fix that later. I feel like I want to work on the eyes just a little bit before I call the stream done. I'm just going to go in here. Let's try to make that a little bit bigger. I tend to work on the eyes on my digital work like I do if I'm doing traditional work. But I really would like to be able to make my eyes a little bit different going forward. I'm only doing, like, these are not like really eyes like I would normally draw my other characters that I do. They're more realistic in the other characters, but I just wanted some like little chibi or chibi things for these pins and stickers, so that's why I'm just going with something that's very easy and straightforward, I guess. And basically all I do is just I keep going down a line and picking different shades of brown, and that's how I kind of get the eye color to work out the way that I want it. If you're watching this again at a later date, because I know I didn't announce this, so there's not a whole lot of people here, but let me know if you like seeing live streams like this with doing digital work, or if you would prefer the live streams with just the traditional mediums. I know there's a lot of people had commented before that digital work doesn't pertain to them, so I don't know how many people are here that like the traditional medium a lot better, so it would be great to get some feedback on that. I'm just using the blender, the blending tool to blend things out. And I like to have this piece right here, it's not as dark as I normally have it, so I'm just going to darken that up. Then I'll go over and I'll do the other eye after. Unfortunately, I should have did both at the same time so I get the same colors, but clearly I didn't do that. Where am I? Okay, I'm still on that layer, so I'm just going to fill that in real quick. Go back here. Yeah, I should have really been doing both the eyes at the same time because it would have been a lot easier for me to color it in. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that now. I can't zoom in or zoom out with my webcam, so I'm kind of stuck at where I am. Just going to blend that out. I used two colors on the other side, but one color didn't really show up as much, I don't think. And honestly, I'm trying not to get too many details on the go here because the stickers are going to be fairly small, so the more detail I put in, the less it's not going to be seen, so I'm trying not to overdo it with the details. I'm just going to blend that out before I go back on the other side. I just like making sure that there's not just like a really harsh line. They kind of look pretty similar. This one over here on my right, I guess, looks a little bit darker. Now hopefully I'm doing this on the right layer. Just going to darken that up just a little bit. And I'm just going to go in and that's so good too. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this on the video or not, but I'm just going in with a very thin line. I should go a little bit later than what's there so you can actually see it. Let's see if I can't bring this all the way in. Going around the eye, you've got a lot of these, I don't know what they're called. Your eye is not all one color. I don't like the way that that's looking though. I don't know how to describe it. You get these like streaks in your eyes and that help make up your eye color. So I'm just gonna do a little bit of that here and there. I don't want to go up just too high. It's hard for me to do it on here because the harder you push on the pencil, I have no control over the pressure sensitivity of my pencil because I haven't really gotten down how to not screw that up yet. Just going to do the other side. I'm not going to go up so high this time. Like I said, the more of these little details I put in, you're really not going to see it when I make the stickers anyway, because the stickers are only going to be small. So it's really not gonna matter a whole lot. And then I'm just gonna go and take an even lighter color and oh, I don't like that one. Just putting some lines in here. And I'll do the other same side. Same thing on that side. Both eyes are not going to look the same regardless, no matter what you do, or they shouldn't look the same anyway. And sometimes I'll go in and put the highlight in the blacks of the eyes as well. But I don't like the way that looks in this one. So, and the outside of the eye, like the whites of the eye are not always completely white. So I'm just going to go onto that layer and change that up a little bit. It's in the corner of the eyes, you got a little bit of a pinkish color. So I'm going to go and add that in if I can actually get some pink here. I'll blend that out again in a second. Oh, wrong corner. Again, probably won't see this on the sticker, but I like adding in the details anyway. And the white part is never, like I said, it's never fully white, so I'm going to go and add some gray in to the top. I don't think that's really dark enough, so I'm going to go in with a different one. I probably won't have the finished piece of this made into a video, but I'll include it on a studio vlog just so you guys can see what the finished piece looks like if you're interested in that. And the last thing I'm going to do before I go is I'm going to, I've already used all of my layers, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put, since I'm okay with the eyes, I'm going to put those 3 layers together so I can create a new layer. And I'm going to bring this down by the face. These 2 layers can go together because I'm satisfied with that. Yeah, I'm going to go pick a blue and see if I can't put in some of this eye color here. And it's okay if I mess up slightly because I can always go in with, I think it's supposed to be like on an angle or something. I don't think this is right what I'm doing here. Let's see. Oops, too far. Sometimes I'm starting out on my digital products, my pictures, I don't really like it until it's pretty well done. Sometimes it looks kind of weird until you get like the full finished piece. I guess it's just the same thing like when you're doing traditional work. Crap. When you're doing traditional work, sometimes you get that ugly phase and you don't really like it and you kind of just gotta push through it to get it done. I think that's kind of the way that I feel about a lot of the digital stuff that I do. So I'm just gonna color this in here, and then I'm gonna I really want to blend it a little bit so it doesn't look as harsh, but I'm not sure it's gonna work. It doesn't look completely horrible. I guess this side right here actually needs to... I think that looks a little bit better. I guess I'm just gonna work on that just a little bit more there. I have the Mad Hatter to do like this as well. I think that looks okay. Over here it doesn't look like I got it brought out as much as the other side. So I'm just going to go in and I'm going to lock that layer so I can use some of the shadows and everything in there. And again, I'm just going to go down here and pick a color. There's not a whole lot of shading I can do. I'm going to kind of give it a, make it a bit darker down here. Another thing that I want to improve on this year is how to go about doing better makeup and stuff, because I feel like my makeup skills are not the greatest when I'm working on things that could use some really nice makeup techniques. So I want to get a little better at that. Now I don't know why, but there's some white lines in here that I'm going to have to go and see if I can fix later. You probably can't see them on the video here, but they don't look great. Gotta figure out what layer it's on. Maybe it's here. Yeah, I have no idea. Sometimes you get these weird things in your work and you can't figure it out. So maybe it is coming from this one. Oh, what did I do? There we go. Okay, so it was coming from that layer all along. Just lock it again. Alright guys, I'm going to clue up the stream here. It's been a very quiet night and I feel like I've talked to myself quite long enough. So again, I'll mention it again just in case someone else skipped through the video and didn't hear it the first couple times I said it, that this time next Friday on the 18th between 8:30 and 9:30 I'll schedule in a stream then. Hopefully you guys stop by and say hello, and I'll probably stream for about an hour or so again. We'll see how it goes. And yeah, thanks so much for stopping by to watch, or if you're watching this at a later date, like I keep saying, thanks for watching the video. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below in the comment section. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video, which probably will be the studio vlog on Tuesday, and then I'll have a video, a traditional medium video ready for Friday for next week. So yeah, so I'm going to let you guys go, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.